What is going on, everybody? How are you doing? Holy smokes. What an ending to WWE SummerSlam 2026 from Minnesota. Um, Big John, Chelsea Green. Yeah, we're going to talk about them all. We're going to talk about, we're going to talk Saturday. We're going to talk Sunday. John, how you doing, buddy?
Good, and yourself?
Good, good, good. Before we go ahead and, talk Saturday, talk Sunday, just your overall thoughts on SummerSlam.
I got, like I said, I give night one a C plus. The only two good matches were the Oba, and I forget the other one that I mentioned. But I think tonight actually ended up turning out to be a little bit better than last night. Honestly, I mean there was some bad matches obviously, but overall I think the Seth Roman was a good match, especially the way they ended it. Them two doing the Shield punch, but you know I give tonight probably a solid A minus because there could have been better matches set up.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I thought yesterday was not better than what tonight, but I thought yesterday was better than what you thought it was.
Yeah, you
I
did.
thought, I mean, but I understand where you're coming from as far as the overall, the matches weren't super exciting and stuff, but they seem to tell a little bit of stories and stuff like that.
What's up, Chuck?
What's up, Chuck? How are you? Um, Tonight, I mean, we said last week when we talked about night one and night two on Wednesday that something was going to have to happen because the way night two was set up, it was not set up to be a great show.
No, not at all. There's the way it was looking. I was like, all right, this is going to really suck for Sunday. But overall, it ended up being pretty decent.
I agree. So, so on Saturday, we just give some thoughts and everything. Um, this one went down like I thought it was going to go down. We even said that there, we could see the Bellas going ahead and turning on Paige. I think the beatdown didn't go as planned because Brie got hurt.
Right. Yeah. I think the way it looked with Brie just getting that basic one stomp in on Paige was about it. And then picked her up a little bit. And it's kind of just, I think it was meant to be worse than it really was.
Yeah, I agree. To both were good. I mean, it was not. I mean, it was not that uh, neither night was bad. Let's put it that way. I mean, they were both good. Neither night was bad.
So,
Um, for me, this went different than I thought it was going to go. I didn't see the guys on the right hand side winning.
kind of did a little bit, but wasn't sure where how WWE was going to decide to throw this one. I'm glad they threw it LA Knight's way, the team's way, but I don't think this is over with.
No, I don't think it's over with. But the sad part is this: is that from an entrance perspective, LA Knight was really the only guy who got a good pop from the crowd.
Oh yeah,
And then to be honest with you, the only excitement and stuff or the better parts of the match came with, Solo kind of, joking around and stuff like that, and that type of stuff. So, that's not good. I mean, it's like I don't know what the reasoning for this was. Oh, so because LA Knight in a 6-man tag because he beat the Bloodline guys. That's it. He like, okay, I don't have a problem with the Bloodline anymore. From that
Yeah.
standpoint. So I don't get that part. I mean, I understand him. You want him to win and stuff like that, but you know, does this push LA Knight? Does this get him? A little more action from the top of the card type stuff, or is he just gonna like be like, why the hell am I here?
Yeah, I think that's where he's at. I mean, I I don't see him being going to the top of the card yet. I mean, maybe. I just don't see it. I think they're trying to make this a team here, these three guys, which how long that lasts, who knows? I mean, are they trying to turn Solo face? I mean, the only pop he got is when he started doing the run it back for the Yeats. That's about the only pop he got through the whole thing.
So it said that I'm just trying to look at what it says here. If it says anything, but it said that he signed a multi-year extension in the summer of 2024. So it said restructured deal secured significant pay increase, keeping the star under contract with the company for the foreseeable future through multi-year terms. Doesn't say his contract was supposed to end in 2025, but it didn't. So I mean, he's here for a while. I mean, so okay. Um, you know,
Then
I don't
they
know.
pushed
You'd think you'd do something with him.
but they pushed him what 4 different times now, thereabouts, and haven't done much to get him so far. And then they just kind of like, all right, you're done.
Yeah,
And
it's true. I mean, they have tried. I think, I mean, I feel like I don't know. Like the problem you have, in my opinion, is where do you go with him? I mean, is he when you look at LA? I mean, you look at him as beating a CM Punk? Do you look at him as beating a Roman Reigns?
I could see him beating a CM Punk, not a Roman Reigns though. Although I think hasn't he beaten Roman for a non-title match? Maybe not.
I'm not sure. I don't know, but this. I mean, for me, on the whole weekend, actually, the two multi-team, the 6-man women and the 6-man, tag matches. For me, those were probably the worst two matches of the night.
Yeah.
They were not entertaining.
No.
Waiting until you're 50, 55 to go ahead and take on that role. Why, if you can make good money and not go ahead and get the shit beat out of you, why not take it?
Right.
It
was a good match. I'll give him that. It's messed up. Could be YouTube too. I mean, I know in StreamYard we're not. I mean,
yeah, it's definitely got to be online. Yeah, I'm seeing it on YouTube for sure.
I mean, Chuck, if you want, I could send you the link. You could join us live. I don't think Mike would care.
No, but he might not. Might say that again because when I just looked, we were just buffering. So,
right.
Excuse me. Yeah, so I don't know if like I said, to me, I just wonder, from that standpoint of, he wanted to get back in the ring. He wanted a shot. They did it for the way they did it. I mean, I look at it from a standpoint for me is this one of those, okay, now, in a few years, we could at least go ahead and induct, Nick Aldis into the Hall of Fame or something like that. Or he always wanted to be he said he always wanted to be a WWE superstar. They gave him a shot. And it was nice at the end, he resigned and Triple H, basically told him no.
Which we kind of knew was going to happen.
I mean, you're not going to fire the guy.
Right.
kicked off Saturday with this match. This was good. This was good. I mean, I wish they wouldn't have brought new Judgment Day in to. Hold on a second here.
No problem.
Just checking something because I did make a change. I wonder if that may have something to do with it. I don't know if that's going to help in the long run, but we'll see. But yeah, I think from my standpoint, it was a good way to kick off SummerSlam. It was the in-match stuff, the in-ring stuff was was good. I think they did a decent job there.
Yeah.
And then, well, let's talk about this one. Then we'll go to the last one. Then we had, these two guys who
There was no noise in that arena at all.
Yeah, it was like they, I don't know. It was like old school. We're not going to do anything exciting in the ring in the beginning and stuff like that, because we're going to waste some time here to fill.
Right.
And then it got a little bit, but man, that moonsault by friggin' CM Punk, and
that was
I give
and a half.
I give the announcers credit. I think it was who was it, Barrett. He didn't get all of it.
Yeah, none of it.
He got none of it, man. I mean, he wasn't even damn near close to it.
I was just like, holy crap! And you wouldn't think that would. I mean, I know they happened, but I mean that was mistimed all the way.
I mean, I don't know if Cody moved the wrong way. Like did Cody shift his body a certain way that he shouldn't have, and something stupid happened? I mean, I don't know. It was that was interesting. I mean, overall, it wasn't exciting.
No.
Stuff like that. And, to me, and the thing is, who was it with CM Punk where the same thing happened, where he did the go to sleep and the guy went into the ropes?
Wasn't it Roman?
Was it Roman, I think? I mean, okay, hey,
it's like, let's do this again. That's what I sent you the text. I'm like, here we go again.
Saw that. What are you doing?
I mean, thank God it didn't end up the same way, but I mean,
no.
And still, you saw it was like almost like it was coming. Maybe they just decided to change that. Like, we already did this. Let's not do it again.
Yeah, and I know there were a lot of people that wanted to see Cody go heel.
Right.
And here's my thing with that. Number one, I don't care. It's not, what I'm saying? It's not going to matter. It's not going to matter or bother me one way or the other. It's not.
Right.
Now, but here's my thing. Cody as a heel, are you expecting the same type of reaction that Gunther gets?
You would have to if you're going to turn him heel, because I don't even know if he would or wouldn't.
See, the problem you have is let's say he were to turn heel. Who's he going to go against?
I mean, you still have the Punk deal there. You can go there, but there's not much else.
Right, because if he's heel, he can't go against Randy.
Yeah.
He can't. If Drew comes back, he can't go against Drew. You're not going to have him go against Gunther.
Well, you could have if Drew came back as a face, then yes. But
But
that's
you think, but wouldn't Drew have to do something? Is just coming back enough for him to be a face?
I mean, he would have to come back and do something as a face, like Randy does. But I mean, I don't. I think if you made Cody heel, it's going to be just like a John Cena heel. That's what's going to happen there.
That's what I think. I don't think it's going to go the way they want it to go. And I don't know what you do. I don't know, like, you look at the SmackDown roster. If you bring up the SmackDown roster and you look at it, how many prominent baby faces are there?
Not many. You got what? Seth and you got Cody and Punk because they're technically both face. You'd have I don't know. Good
Like, when
question.
you're looking at your guys here, I mean, so you're talking SmackDown, right? We got Tozawa, no. Angelo Dawkins, part of a team. Theory, bad guy. Corbin, bad guy. Big Cass, we don't know what he's going to be, but who knows?
Trick Williams
Uh,
either as a good guy.
Probably. Lesnar, don't have to worry about him. Breaker, bad guy. Carmelo. I mean, is Carmelo at a point where you could have him and Cody in a feud?
I don't think so.
Okay. Bronson Reed. I don't think he's going to come back as a good guy if he's going to come back as part of the Vision. He's not.
Right.
Chad Gable, but now what? But the thing is so now you're going to have him fight with Chad to try and be a U.S. champ.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
You have
I don't
Punk.
think we see Cody going heel because I don't think he wants to either. Not that that would change with the right amount of conviction, words in his ears. But I mean,
Yeah, like, I don't have a problem with it. Like I said, it's just that when you look at the SmackDown roster, there's more, bad guys per se than there are good guys. Priest is a
right,
good guy, okay, but Ethan Page, bad guy. Gunther, bad guy. Grayson Waller, bad guy. Okay, Finn Balor, okay. We haven't seen Dragunov, so who knows what's going him? Who knows what's happening? With him. You have the Usos and Fatu. I mean, is he going to go back to fighting the Bloodline?
right.
I think that's what, to me, that when I look at it, that's the problem that I see. I don't have a problem with him turning.
You would have to do it the right way. I think you have to move Cody from SmackDown to Raw to do that.
Yeah, like I said, to me, when you look at who he could go ahead and go with, I mean, what? Okay, Matt Cardona, Kevin Owens, Royce Keys. I mean, I just don't see it. If you were going to go ahead and you were going to turn him, I just don't see, because the guys he would go against are guys that he's already gone against.
Yeah.
So, who knows? And we had the passing of the torch.
Yes, we did.
This was really good. This match was better than I thought it was going to be. I'm a little surprised there was no blood. They really didn't use the Hell in the Cell that much.
No.
They could have gone ahead and just
Caught a steel cage match.
yeah, could have been a steel cage, or it could have just been a normal match, because other than what? They could have made it. They could have made it a no DQ, because other than what, the Brock getting thrown through the table,
And the pulling up of the mat, that was it.
yeah. I mean, they did chair shots, which and then did the stairs, and you would expect those two big guys to use the steel stairs.
Yeah.
Um, I'm glad it went the way it went. I like the way Brock went ahead and kind of did what he did at the end. I think when we had spoken, or I know in the text, but I know when I spoke was, hey, the only thing I did not want to see is I didn't want to see the whole shoes and
He got back in the ring. I thought we were going to see it when he pulled off the wristbands.
that's what I thought. I thought something like
Here
that
we go.
might have been coming.
I'm glad he did what he did. He came in and went for the hug and all the respect. So that was good. And he got in the mic and kind of boosted Oba.
Yep. And now we'll see. Now it'll be interesting to see what happens next with Oba, because obviously he does have a guaranteed, shot at what do you call it? At a title.
I would have loved to see him come down tonight, or at least maybe not come down the road, just like come out, and be like, I'm coming after you. Just not do it tonight, because Oba's going to want to win it when Roman's 100%, I'm sure. But
yeah, and I wonder. I wonder if there's any kind of delay. To me, it's gonna be interesting for me to see how they play this out, how they make this go.
yeah,
If you guys watching, if you wouldn't mind, are we still buffering? I haven't seen it buffer on my side on YouTube in a little bit, but I haven't been. I mean, I've just been trying to catch it off my side eye.
yeah.
But like I said, when we talked about it, overall, your Saturday was good. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad. It was just good.
Right.
I think you're right. I think you're right in a way of saying that, it was a C plus. I would have given it maybe a B minus, but I mean, to be honest with you, we're both in the ballpark.
Yeah.
We are definitely both, in the ballpark and everything. And then tonight, we're going to try and go in order. So tonight and everything, I mean, this, I think it made sense for them to do something. I'm not saying that they didn't have this as a plan the whole time.
All right.
But I think personally, when you look at when you looked at this match and stuff, I don't know how good it was going to be by itself. Obviously you were surprised that it turned into a fatal four-way. Were you how surprised were you of the people that were added?
I knew Kevin Owens was going to be there. There was just so much talk about him being around. In that capacity, I didn't see it. I definitely did not see Gunther being put in there. I mean, I figured it was going to be just Finn and Sammy, and then maybe Kevin comes out and helps Finn out to beat Sammy. I don't know. But to interject them like that and then do what they did, I think it was a bad call on their part. To have Kevin just come in and win made no sense. I would have rather seen, like I said, Finn win this.
I mean, look, we've seen this before in all different things, right? We saw John Cena come back after being away 6-8 months, go into the Royal Rumble, and win. We've seen this type of thing, type of thing happen and everything. Right. I think that's what a lot of people thought. Like, I thought if Kevin Owens was there, that's what I think was going to happen. That Kevin Owens was going to interfere somehow,
Exactly.
to cost Sammy. But now you get Kevin Owens against Punk at some time. So is that a Monday Night Raw match? Is that a Money in the Bank match? And then whoever wins Money in the Bank tries to cash in? I don't know. I mean, to me, like, I guess I just look at things. I look at different from a standpoint of a guy who's been out 17 months comes back. You make him the number one contender. Are you really going to put the belt on him?
It's possible.
I was hoping the same. I thought Drew was gonna, I thought Drew was gonna show up potentially in the Cody Punk match to cost Cody. But
Right.
again, we've seen that before, and it's just one of those things. It's like where are you going to interject these
Right.
guys? From that standpoint, that's for me. Like, where
I
can you
think for
interject them?
Drew, he's either going to come back on a Monday night or a Friday night. Maybe doing the Kevin Owens CM Punk fight. I don't know. Did they do that on a Monday night?
Yeah.
Because he does have issues with Punk, so
Yep. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It would make sense and everything. He interferes with that match. KO gets the win by DQ, but doesn't get the belt because Drew
right.
interfered and beat up, Punk. I don't know, man. I just, I understand. Need these guys back because it sucked for a while. Yes, it has.
Yeah.
It most certainly had. The Monday nights and Friday nights have not been good shows. I mean, for crying out loud, the SmackDown on Friday was that was a freaking joke.
I like stopped watching about halfway through.
I mean, what was it? 3 matches, I think.
Yep.
3 matches and a whole bunch of talking. They screwed Julia. They literally have no idea. I don't know why it is. They have no idea what to do with her. She's unbelievable in the ring, but they've just screwed her. And then to squash, like, why are you going to have Lash squash her? You would think if I'm doing that, because out of all the matches for the qualifiers, we can't include Charlotte Flairs and we can't include Jade's because, of the interference. When you look at the other ones, why go ahead and have Lash go ahead and squash if you weren't thinking of potentially putting a belt on?
Right.
So I don't get that. But this one turned out to be a good match because it was a fatal 4-way. Again, I don't know. I don't know what the thought is of why Kevin Owens. Is it a reward for working real hard and coming back when he didn't think he was going to come back? I don't know. I don't think he, why make him the number one contender? Unless you plan on putting the belt on him. And I just don't see, and I never have seen. I look at him. I'm sorry, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like this. But I look at him as kind of like a Sammy, and even kind of like a Finn. Neither one of them seems the type of guy that you would put the belt on and keep it there for a long time.
Right.
As the face of your company. Like, I mean, yeah, I don't know. Doesn't it almost have to? Maybe not kill it,
but slow it down.
But now, how does he get back?
Yeah.
Right. This was for the number one contender. He got the gauntlet match or whatever, or the other thing, whatever that other match was, where he won to get this match against Sammy. Then they make it a fatal 4-way, and I don't know. I just don't know what they're doing with some of these guys. It's kind of mind-boggling.
Yeah.
And then we had for lack of better terms, just the fun match.
It was.
Human Money's on a pole, and then it wasn't actually Human Money's because he was throwing it into the crowd afterwards. So, I mean, once JD came down, I mean, I didn't say his name.
Nobody did, but
you knew it it had all the writings on the wall of Joe Hendry coming down.
Yeah. I wasn't sure who they were going to get, but
The only thing that I thought is could it have been a Minnesota Vikings player? Just because last time when he was in New York, they had they had the basketball player. They were in Madison Square Garden, so they had a New York Nick. I didn't know if they're in the Vikings home stadium, one of the Viking players, would have helped them out.
Right.
But sometimes the best part of this was when little, Torino Hausen, the little when he was doing his thing. Otherwise, I mean, it wasn't much to talk about.
No.
I mean, quite possibly could be probably the worst match out of all 12.
I don't know. I think that Bella's match was worse, honestly.
That's true.
And that just was. This at least was fun to watch.
It was.
I'm upset with this one.
I remember when they had the big promotions, and in reality, it was like the big three, right? It was Oba, Von Evans, Trick Williams.
Right. And they did.
Exactly. 100%. Right? You had the big three, right? That was like when they did those promotions, right? Oh my God, look who's here, right? Trick Williams, Obafemi, and Javon Evans. Javon Evans has done squat. And I don't know, with all the momentum you have, why you bring this loser in who was always shit with this company for so long.
Yeah.
His only claim to fame was that he retired Kurt Angle and forgot. And I don't know. I mean, I've never looked for it. I don't know if there was ever an article, a YouTube video, an interview, or something as to why Kurt Angle picked that guy to go ahead and end his career.
Yeah. I don't know. I've never seen anything.
So you fire him. You have all this other young talent that you're talking about pushing, Carmelo, Dragunov, all that stuff. And then you put the belt on him. Glad Corbin won. I can't stand Trick. If I wanted to see Booker T, I'll look for a match. I mean, yeah. I get that part. I mean, to me, it's Corbin.
Right.
It's not necessarily that Trick lost. Yeah, he lost to that guy.
The wrong guy. If that was Carmelo Hayes, I'd have been better off with it.
Right. Or Dragunov.
Yeah.
Somebody else. This is one of those ones where, I'm in a wrestling chat on X and everything, and everybody was going, what the hell just happened? Why?
Yeah.
Why? You got a guy who is over with the crowd. I mean, my gosh.
Way over.
Let's take the belt off of him.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
Definitely should have been Carmelo. They're screwing him up. Yeah. And Dragunov, too. Ilya Dragunov. They're messing him up. Just like they're messing up Julia and stuff. So I don't get it, man. I don't know. I don't know. Oh, you always liked Corbin. You like the many faces of Corbin: Happy Corbin, Sad Corbin, Lone Wolf Corbin, GM Corbin. I mean, my gosh, you had so many freaking different roles and everything.
Now the Nomad.
Yeah, now the Nomad. Yeah, the Nomad. Penta versus Chad Gable.
This was probably one of the best matches of the whole weekend. Not the best, but one of the best.
Top 3.
Oh, yeah.
He's a good wrestler. I don't care what they call him.
It's because Chuck lives in Illinois, it's just Illinois people.
Yeah, probably. Was he a Chicago Bear? I know he played for. Oh no, he was a Colt. I think he was an Indianapolis Colt. So what did you think?
I agree with Chuck. I'm glad Gable won. It was a very good match. I like the way it ended, and the way even Penta went up to him, pulled him up, gave him a hug. I love that. It was all good. We'll have to see where it goes from here. How long Gable holds on to it. I would imagine they keep him on at least as long as Penta had it. I mean, Penta's going to get a rematch probably, but
Yeah, and I'm wondering if they took it off of Penta because they have Triple Mania coming up, they have When Worlds Collide, so they have a bunch of stuff going on with Mexico and everything. I guess was it on SmackDown or something, or maybe one of their house shows. His brother came down and helped him. He was getting beat up and everything. So people are saying maybe the Lucha Brothers, could be reforming. I think that would be a mistake. Yeah, I think it does open it up to him, but to me that's okay if if they finally decide to focus on tag team wrestling. I mean, here you figure we had SummerSlam, the party of the summer, supposed to be the second biggest, pay-per-view event that they go ahead and have after WrestleMania. And, you have Danhausen against Dom rather than a women's IC match. You have, again, Gunther, all this, I get it. But I mean, you only had 6 matches. The show went 3 hours each night. You could have added a tag team match to each one of
that's
those.
what I didn't understand. Where
So,
was the vision? In this tag team, and it just made no sense. There was no tag teams at all in this.
yeah, I agree, Chuck, 100%. I just don't know if WWE is going to use them the right way. Because here we are, another major, pay-per-view or PLE, and no tag team.
Yeah.
No R-Truth and Damian Priest going up against somebody. No Vision going up against somebody.
Even on the women's side, there was nothing.
Right.
They were in the triple.
They were in the 6-man tag, right? You know what I'm saying? I mean, and you had to put Tiffy in the ladder match.
Wow. Yeah.
So Chelsea could push her over, but you had her as a U.S. title. Why couldn't she have had a match?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what the prices were for this event, but if you got in before they had a sale and you only had 3 hours, to me, I find that a little disheartening from a fan perspective.
I would have been pissed. And they didn't. Like you said when we were texting, why was there no announcement of how many people were there? Because they didn't sell out either night. There was a lot of empty seats in that arena.
It's amazing that, right? And what normally happens on night one? Doesn't Triple H usually come out to
somebody
the
does, yeah.
Stephanie did it one time. He did it, but they didn't do anything like that. Now I know there's no host or anything, but they usually, even if there was no host, even sometimes the announcers will go, "Hey, folks, guess what? We broke last year's record from SummerSlam night number 1. Now here's a new, total for us." But nothing.
Nope.
Nothing. So I don't know. I mean, it is what it is.
I think they were embarrassed that they didn't sell out, and 2, there was a ton of empty seats. When they would fly around that arena, you'd see all the empty seats. There was rows of them.
Well, when you look on the hard camera side, they had a bunch of it tarped off.
Yeah, I didn't understand that either. I know they had the camera side where they don't usually have people sitting, but I mean, at a PLE, you would think they would want as much as they could.
Yeah. So, but I'm happy for same type of thing. Look, Chad has been he's done everything that they've asked for, out of him. All the gimmicks they've tried, all the different, whether it be Alpha Academy, American Made, El Grande Americano, and what he did with that character and everything. And the funny thing is we always talk about injury and stuff like that. Who knows what happens if he doesn't get hurt, right? You don't get, the other El Grande Americano. You don't get Little Big Kaiser going ahead and then figuring out what the hell to do with him.
Yeah.
Put him in that role and everything. So I'm happy for Chad. He's been around a while and everything like that. Any kind of do you think, he's on this, he went through this, what do you call it, tour. That's true. Shorty G too. He had that, he had that gimmick.
I remember that one. Yeah.
But do you think he makes any kind of amends with the Alpha Academy?
Something tells me they're going to. I just don't know when. But I don't think it. Does it help them at all? Does it help him at all? Probably not, unless they're going to start pushing the Alpha Academy. But I don't know what you can do with them, especially with Tozawa.
The only reason why I thought about it is if Logan Paul is healthy, there's 3 Vision guys.
True.
If they got into another one of those matches and Logan jumps in and it's a 3-on-2, like him coming down, to help out and help, that type of thing. Not a long-term thing.
Right.
But just like a, hey, and I'm sorry I went ahead and did what I did with you guys and so on and so forth. Oh, that's true. Oh, wow. They get the tag titles. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, but I think it would be Gable and Otis that end up with the titles, not Tozawa. I could be wrong, but
Who knows?
you could make him.
The ladder match.
This one sucked for me. I'm sorry.
It was not good, except the outcome.
Right.
I was very happy with the outcome. It made a lot of sense. It made a lot of sense from a standpoint of is the interim champion. So it's rewarding Chelsea for all that she has done and all that kind of stuff. Right. And she was the right choice because Rhea Ripley, when she comes back and she's healthy, against any one of those other 4 for an interim title match, but with Chelsea, it kind of makes sense.
Yeah. Do that.
But I don't know. I just sometimes I just wonder, and I think to me, there was really only the one ladder spot where Lash went ahead and had Tiffy bounce off of the ladder. I mean, there was really nothing brutal from that point.
Right.
Yeah, Lash is getting to me, part of me with Lash is she's becoming a little bit like Jade. I mean, I hope she gets better.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. See, and this is what bothers the shit out of me from that standpoint of is you have real girls who understand wrestling, know how to wrestle, like a Julia. But then you're trying to push people who really don't understand it, don't get it. That's irritating for me.
Yeah. Me too. It's just like, yeah, Lash should not have been in it. I agree.
Yeah, she's not.
And there for a while, I thought they were going to give it to Jade again. I'm like, oh, please don't do that. Because that just would have been terrible.
Yeah. I mean, when you have Charlotte in there, okay, so now we're going to have something. Obviously, we're going to have something going on with those 2. Maybe Tiffany gets pissed off and her and Chelsea get some kind of little, argument type thing going or something along those lines. Lash Legend, it does nothing. That match did nothing for Lash. It's not like, oh my gosh, she was so great, man. That match put her on the map. Man, everybody's going to remember her performance there. Nope, that's not going to happen.
No.
Nothing was memorable about this other than Chelsea hanging by her feet and then kind of sort of sitting up like The Undertaker.
Yeah.
And then getting to the top of the ladder and pulling it.
That was it.
Yeah, it didn't build anything. So that's what I'm saying. Why have her squash Julia when you do nothing for her in the ladder match? It makes zero sense. You know.
This here is probably one of the best matches, if not the best match of the weekend. Because you had no interruptions. They didn't, really use any weapons. I mean, Seth brought in the steel chair, but really didn't get to use it. Roman threw it away and said, "We're going to do this as men with nothing else." I think it ended up. We were chatting on, texting. There for a minute, I thought they were going to give it to Rollins.
When he hit the super stomp, I was like, "Oh wow, wow, okay." So that kind of sort of, I can see it happening.
Over the years, I would have seen. You would think they would have brought the ref down sooner, but to see that ref after that, I mean, obviously we all know it's fake, but get up as quick as he did to make that count, it was funny. Dude, you were just laying on the floor.
Yep. Yeah, agreed, Chuck. That's one thing. I know it wasn't clean. They went through tables and that type of stuff, but there was no bloodline coming down to interfere, which then would have brought, Keys and LA Knight and probably Solo down and that type of stuff and everything. I was happy about that. I will say I didn't expect it to go as long as it did.
Me neither.
I give them both, credit and stuff from that standpoint.
I mean, they were both spent. You could see it. But.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, no. I understood what you meant, Chuck.
And I do like.
And I didn't mean to say. I mean, yes, I was glad that was the only thing, that there was no run-ins. But I think it's one of those things where, I mean, it closes a chapter. Okay, I get it. That's fine. And they did the Shield thing at the end in the mask because the mask represented Ambrose and everything, right? So I get that part, and I get all of that, and they both did one of his moves.
Yep.
From that standpoint, again, very good. I'm okay with that and everything. But if you're like Seth Rollins, where do you go from here?
Yeah, where are you going to go with him? You going to start putting him in against LA Knight or somebody like that? I mean, really don't know where you go with Rollins unless Rollins wants some time off. Because you haven't seen Becky either in a while.
True.
So maybe they both take some time off. I mean, I don't know. But then where does Roman go from here?
I'm one. See,
does he start something with Oba, or does Oba start something with him?
Well, Oba, in his interview also, Oba did go ahead and make some kind of comments towards Punk when he was sitting in the after show. So there was some of that going on. As we got closer to this match and stuff, and even during the match when when it looked like, hey, Seth could pull this off. Seth could win. I think that's what everybody wanted, but what I was thinking, do you go ahead and have Seth win in a way that would delay Oba against Roman? Because here we are in August. You basically really only have two big PLEs left, right? You have Money in the Bank and Survivor Series.
Yeah, with no, even Lollapalooza, WrestlePalooza wasn't really a big one.
And I don't think that's been scheduled yet, has it?
I don't think we're getting that. I don't think it went over good enough for them to.
Yeah, so I'm let that's what I'm saying. So how do you delay it until the Royal Rumble? That's why I thought it was one of those things of do you have Seth win, then Oba beats Seth, and then it's Roman coming after Oba.
I would not see that one, unfortunately. Just due to the fact I don't think Roman would go for something like that. He would be the one wanting to be chased, per se. I could see them working this to where they kind of do like maybe the Brock Lesnar type deal they did with, where you do a couple matches, and then at the Royal Rumble, maybe it is title for the title. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Like that. That's the only thing. It's then again, I look at future stuff. I look down the road. I try and figure stuff out. Probably that I shouldn't go ahead and do it. I like Oba as Hunter, not the hunted. True. That's true. Him being the guy going after. Yeah, I mean that makes sense, Chuck. I can agree with you there. I just don't. For me personally, I just again, thinking long term, looking ahead more. At some point in time, you have Oba goes ahead and takes the title. Sounds like he would take the title off of Roman. Is that in match 1 or is that in match 2? But they ain't only fighting once.
I would say that would be match 2.
So you have Roman retain, builds up to Oba Roman part 2 with Oba being the champ. Then are you done? Are you not done? If you're not done, then do you have Roman fight again and then lose again and lose 2 to him?
I don't think so.
Because that's the thing that, that's the part that I have a hard time with when, with the way they have things structured, with the way they, I don't know. I'm, when I first started watching wrestling as a whole, title reigns meant something.
Right.
Bruno Sammartino had the title for what, like 7 years? And then he lost it, and then he won it back, and then he held it for like another 4. So when I grew up, that what it was. Oh, Bruno's a champ. Oh, Bruno's a champ. Oh, now Bob Backlund's a champ. Oh, Bob Backlund's a champ. Bob Backlund, you know what I'm saying? So it wasn't until probably the Attitude Era, those type of things, when all of a sudden it was a guy, a lot of people were 3 and 4 time champions because the belt just kept going and going and going.
Right.
But if you put the belt on Oba, which I think everybody who watches wrestling, everybody who follows wrestling, understands that it's only a matter of time before he does go ahead and get it. But I guess if we've learned anything from the past, Brock Lesnar didn't keep it for a very long time, then Oba doesn't have to keep it for a very long time.
Exactly.
But who?
You put it on him for 3 or 4 months, take it off of him at a pay-per-view, and I don't know who he loses it to besides Roman, unless you give it to, like, Drew comes back, but that would make really no sense either.
Right. I mean, you have the tribal chief.
I mean, now Brock did lose to Ray Mysterio in a match. So, Damian Priest maybe.
I mean, you could. I mean, you want to go crazy? You could have Carmelo Hayes beat him. I mean, you could have Javon Evans beat him, right? Javon Evans beat him in NXT.
True.
So I mean, you could do certain things. And I just, I don't know. It's going to be very interesting to see how they move forward with what they're doing and everything because, yeah, Randy, you could have him go. You could have Randy go, against him and stuff like that. But to me, you know, we already know that Randy can't go that long. And I think that would be that. I think that would be a tough kind of match for Randy because of the way Oba is.
Right.
He's a power guy, right? He's not a you know he's not a lot of finesse there. He's not a Cody or a Punk, right? Where you can have those moments where you could do things like an arm bar or a headlock, so on and so forth. This guy's the ruler. He's massive. You shouldn't be able to hold him in a headlock.
Right.
Shouldn't be able to hold him in an arm bar or stuff and all those types of things. I mean, I think I just think from a standpoint of is they have yeah. I mean one way maybe that's Randy's retirement match. I just think from a standpoint of is they have guys. I just wonder why are they afraid to use some of them.
Yeah. Or are those guys not ready yet? You know, you know, not proving themselves. I don't know.
Or in their mind, do they look and they go, hey, no matter what kind of match it would be, if I'm TKO, I'm like, all right, Oba, Javon Evans, Oba, Carmelo Hayes, Oba, Randy Orton. Which one of those three am I selling the most tickets for?
True. I don't have no need so much for any of them, really. Unfortunately. Maybe the Randy one might sell a little more just because of his name, but
What's that, Manny? That's true. That's right. Trick also beat Oba. That's true. Trick beat him also. So, but I think that they have gone ahead and they've portrayed Oba very, very different
yeah.
than when he was with NXT. So I don't know. I think both main events on both nights, probably are up there as the best match on each night. Oh gosh, I hope not, man. I
Give him
mean, I don't,
time.
just let it go, Trick. Let it go. I mean, get rid of Little Yachty. I don't know why the hell he's got
Yes.
him. That's a waste.
I
I don't
agree.
understand why the hell you got that guy on and why you're dealing with him. That's freaking stupid. You know.
Yeah, I agree there. Just
But I just sometimes think they don't know, that they're not 100% sure of what to do with these guys, which is odd. It's like again, it makes you wonder when they are looking at booking these things, when they're looking at stuff. Like I don't, I'm of a believer that this is not. There's no long-term storytelling. It's reverse engineering. You know, they
right.
look at something that happened, some kind of interaction from 3 months ago, and they're gonna make it as though they're gonna make a lot of people believe, oh, long-term storytelling, man. 3 months ago, remember this? You really weren't paying attention, but back in the background, you saw A, B, and C happening, so on and so forth. Ha ha! Look what we have now. No, come on, man. I mean, there's nothing that makes you want to believe that is the way the WWE is doing things.
Right.
you know, they're looking of, hey, how can we get the most butts in the seats? And pretty soon, what they better realize really, really quick, the number one way to do it is make it affordable.
Yep.
Make it affordable so that a family can go, or even just a father and a son, a father and a daughter, a mother and a daughter, a mother, whoever, two friends, whoever, make it so that it's affordable to go.
I agree.
To me, that'll go ahead and that'll mean something. That's the way you're going to go ahead and, if you're just going to continue with the, hey, all we're really going to do is try and get as many butts in seats as we can for every kind of PLE or, whatever it may be. Well, then, then they're just going to say, okay, hey, that guy and that guy, let's go. Great match. Here we go.
Agreed.
But if you look at stuff, even like Danhausen beating the Judgment Day and so on and so forth. So is that over?
Probably not. You're going to get a Dom and JD versus Henry and Danhausen, I bet.
I mean, it makes sense that would happen. But I mean, I don't know what Danhausen's going to do after this little thing. Of who's he going to go after?
Yeah. It does make no sense. Yeah. Like I said, then again, we're not TKO trying to figure this out. They don't know what they're doing, so they're just trying to put shit together to try to make money, and it's not working. At least this didn't work out for them. It's not selling out, not even coming close to selling out.
Yeah, I don't know what the attendance should have been, but if they're saying that they got 33 to 35,000, I don't know. That just.
Well, doesn't the stadium hold like 66?
I think so, but obviously, yeah, I think it does hold about 66,000, or let's say even if it's just 60,000.
You're a little over full.
To go ahead and have to tarp off, I mean, that's bad. I don't care what you say. You can say whatever the hell you want to say. That's bad. Having to tarp off seats is bad no matter what.
Right.
But
and then the seats didn't even go all the way up to the stage. They were like, there's a big old area there on either side of the stage that was empty.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. There was. I mean, I just look at it from a standpoint from here of saying, even if it was 60,000, when you figure let's say you take out, you have that big screen and everything like that. I don't know how many, like end of a football stadium. Obviously, it's going to be less people at one end than the other end. But okay, but even still, even if you said, hey, that takes out 10,000 seats, which would be stupid. Let's say it takes out. Let's say you said 10,000. So you're at 66,000. So now you're at 56,000. And you had to tarp off because you only sold, just a little bit more than half. That can't be good.
No.
And you had a discount again. Now Danhausen I like as the hunted, not the hunter, makes it funny. It does make it funnier. But it's just gonna be interesting to see who's gonna come after him next. So,
looking on Google, it says night one distributed approximately 37,478 tickets out of a configured setup of 38,456. Capacity holds 72,287. The WWE scaled down the capacity configuration for the two-night event.
So they went ahead and scaled it down by almost 50%.
Yeah.
It was 36 36,000 times 2 is 72.
If they sold the 37,000 each night, say 37.5, that's what 75,000 for the 2 nights.
Yeah.
When it's about half. Yeah, that's sad. That is bad. They got to look and be like, oh, we fucked this one up. I mean, they won't see it that way, but
Well, no, because they're going to look at it from a standpoint of it is, hey, guess what? We still went ahead and we
made a couple $1 million.
we still made money. The town still made their money, you know, Minnesota, because people came in and so on and so forth, so on and so forth. I go ahead and get it, and I'm okay with that. I mean, you know, but I don't know. I mean, when you look at it as what the product looked like you're almost wondering, like, what cities are going to start stepping up now and say, "Hey, man, yep, oh,
Yeah.
I'm the mayor. Hey, why don't you come? I got a big stadium. Why don't you come?"
Yeah.
I mean, they're at the Smoothie King is an arena, right? That's not the no, because the Saints play at Mercedes Benz.
Right.
Right. So Money in the Bank is in a regular arena. That's the next one, I believe. Money in the Bank.
Yeah. I can't see many places being like, come to me when you can't sell out. You scaled back your Minnesota show from 72 to like 40, say 40,000. You couldn't even sell that. Why would I want you to come to my town?
And you booked 3 hometown favorites.
And then your first 2 matches are done in under an hour on both nights.
Yeah. So I mean, I wonder. I mean, I wonder if I watched the replay. It'd be interesting to see how much ring time there was in the 3 hours.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt and say 2 hours and 45 minutes. Might have only been about 2.5 hours, but
Don't forget, you got all the entrances to deal with and stuff. And you have the commercial, they have the breaks and everything.
which I don't understand. If I'm paying for that service on ESPN, I shouldn't have a commercial at all.
No reason why there should be that.
Just look on some boring wrestling for the next couple weeks until the next pay-per-view.
Well, I think, what do we have? Is there something before?
You have a Sunday night main event in Atlanta coming up.
That's in September.
I don't think there's anything in August left, is there?
That's what I was going to say. I didn't know. I was going to say, is there anything in August?
I don't think so. Not to my knowledge. But then again, you might add something. Well, yeah, the AAA and NXT Heat Wave, August 30th.
That's going.
That's on still. That is Sunday, August 30th at 10 a.m.
Chuck says about an hour and 45 minutes worth of ring time both nights.
Maybe. I don't see anything after that. Yeah. After the Heat Wave, you have the main event in Alabama or Atlanta.
That's true. And then you have that Triple Mania thing coming up, right?
Right.
Which they're going to do. Friday night is going to be in Vegas at the MGM.
Yeah.
And then night 2 is going to be in Mexico City, but it's going to be on Sunday.
Yeah, September 13th. Yeah. And the original place for that first one was going to be the Luxor, but then they moved it to MGM. I don't know why that happened, but who knows. And then you have some NXT shows. NXT, you have Worlds Collide on September 26th.
Worlds Collide?
Yeah. That's WWE, AAA, and NXT World Collide in Chicago. And then Money in the Bank on October 10th. Then you don't have anything until November 28th. It's going to be a lull unless they add something somewhere.
Well, I think so. They have what? They have WrestlePalooza in their pocket, just as because they have a name for it. You know what I'm saying? From that standpoint,
All right.
but I think that would be the only one, right?
Yeah. That'd be the only thing unless they decide to come up with something new.
I don't know what they would.
Bash at the beach. Bring back some good old WCW or In Your House. Remember all those old ones? I don't see anything new coming up for them. I mean, could they bring WrestlePalooza back? That'd be right around the same time they're doing the triple or the
Yeah, I don't know how you'd fit
August
that
30th.
in.
You'd have to put it in before August 30th, and that would just, I don't see that happening.
Oh wow.
Unless they throw it in between that August 30th and sometime in September, they could do it there.
No. What are you going to? You have September 6th. You have Sunday night main event.
Okay, but you can still put it somewhere down the line.
Then you got 20 days later, you have Worlds Collide Chicago.
Yeah, well,
And then you have what? 20, 10, you have maybe 15 days ish. After that, you have Money in the Bank. That takes you to the middle of October.
okay, well, then you could do it after that. Put it between that and
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series, the only. But,
Because
that
then
just, but what are you going to put in there? I don't see WrestlePalooza working there.
I think WrestlePalooza is kind of sort of the only one that you could go ahead and throw in.
Or maybe they throw in the John Cena tournament. I know how much you love that. You can't wait to see it. I know. Keep talking about it all the time.
Sooner or later, it has to freaking happen.
I don't think we're going to see it this year at all. I think they might have scrapped that idea. There's been no talk about it anywhere since you mentioned it.
So the Heat Wave and AAA are on AAA's Lucha Libre Worldwide event is on the exact same day in the exact same arena as NXT's Heat Wave.
Yeah, I saw that. I guess maybe they're combining them.
So I wonder if, like Heat Wave is in the afternoon and then AAA is at night. Then you have Saturday night's main event, Sunday, December. Then Triple Mania, September 11th and 13th. Worlds Collide, 26th. Money in the Bank is October 10th. Survivor Series is November 28th.
So you have that time.
You have a
day. Well, you got a nice period between Money in the Bank and Survivor Series if you wanted to fit something in there.
You have, that's what, 6 weeks? 7 weeks?
Yeah. So you could put something in there. It wouldn't. I don't think it'd be a 2-nighter thing. It'd have to be a 1-night thing. But
you could do Halloween Havoc, but yeah, that really has become, but that's become an NXT thing.
Yeah.
Battleground, that was an NXT thing. WrestlePalooza, we already had Crown Jewel, right?
Yeah. Payback.
I mean,
you payback.
No. What I'm saying though is that for events that they've had in the past that they don't have any dates for, if they may do, you have Battleground was an NXT. All I'm saying is when pure WWE, the only one is WrestlePalooza.
Yeah. But unless they bring back one of their older ones and just say, "Look, we're going to do this." I mean, what do you have? You have Payback they could bring back. You have what's that other one? There's can't think of the other ones that they had. You had one that began with a B, but it wasn't Battleground. Backlash.
We already had Backlash.
Did they? Oh yeah, it did, didn't they? So yeah, the only ones that they were going to
Anyway,
bring back.
Backlash was in May.
So Payback would be the only one they could bring back if they wanted to bring one back. Otherwise, it would be WrestlePalooza.
Right.
All we can do is wait and see, or they don't do anything.
Or well, you know what they may be doing. Let's face it, truthfully, they may be holding on a WrestlePalooza, see what AEW does. And if AEW schedules something that they don't have listed right now, WWE jumps on something and says, "Hey, Madison Square Garden, you're open," or "Hey, Orlando, your arena's open," or somewhere, "Hey, all right, they're doing this event in Houston, so hey, Dallas, Fort Worth, San Antonio, do you have room for us? We want to bring WrestlePalooza to your place."
True.
Because let's face it, they don't need a lot of time to go ahead and book matches.
No, they don't take time to think about them. So why?
I mean, they literally just throw some of this shit together.
Who wants to go to Houston? I do. All right, you're going to be in a match.
Yeah.
So another
AEW is going to be in Dallas. We're going to go to San Antonio. We're going to have WrestlePalooza. There'll be 5 matches. I need 10 wrestlers. Okay, hey, tag team. We don't use that.
You're going to need like 10 to 20 wrestlers in case you have a triple threat match or something.
Yeah, that's true. Let's add a triple threat. Let's add a. Well, I'm surprised I have. What is this? We have a new match. What is it? It's the Pentagon match. What? It's a furious 5-way. We had the fatal 4-way, but this is a furious 5-way.
Oh, that would be sick.
So friggin' stupid.
Ridiculous. So, what do you think of Screwball going to the Dodgers?
So, I mean, two different ways. Looking at it from a Dodgers perspective, makes sense. Hey, you want to win, you do what you got to do. The thing that gets me is Chuck does not like it. He says it's bullshit.
He's pitching against them on Tuesday. That's probably why.
The thing for me with that is I just wonder if there wasn't a better package out there.
Yeah,
like, I know Milwaukee probably had just as good, if not a better package that they could have put together if they wanted to. Now, I don't know, maybe they just said, hey, nope, we're not going to do it, so on and so forth. We know Chuck is a big fan. But, I mean, this whole, and then people right away say, this is why we need a salary cap and so on and so forth. This is nothing for the salary cap. The guy who's going to be a free agent next year, go right ahead. I mean, Detroit didn't get scrubs. I mean, in reality, the one guy, I forgot his first name, but his last name, I know they got River Ryan. They got some other kid named Smith. And they got some other kid named Hope. I know the kid was Hope. I believe he was either number 3 or number 4 in the Dodgers organization in their minors. If you look online, pardon me, it'll show him as number 2 for Detroit. But the truth is he's number 1 because their number 1 prospect they have listed, Max Clark, he got called up.
Right. So,
so they didn't, it's not like they got scrubs. To me, you should be more upset or more worried if they figure out a way to sign him
at the end of this year,
long term, before while negotiating stuff can still go on. And that's the part that that's the part where I don't think it gives them a fair advantage over anybody else. I think it's going to this whole thing with the potential lockout and stuff. I think if the players are a little bit smarter, in a way where it hurts the game of baseball, it may hurt them, but I think there's a chance that it could go ahead and maybe, speed up some signings rather than having guys, lay around and everything. Great deal
Right.
for Detroit. There was no chance of staying. Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. For Detroit, it's a good deal. The three guys they got, I mean, two of them are top five prospects, equal to top five prospects in Detroit. Now look, that doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot. That just means maybe that their farm system they've called up a guy. Because I look at like the Mets, right? The Mets made that trade with Tampa Bay for Freddie Peralta. When you looked at Tampa's minor leagues and you look at the ranking that they had on MLB.com, I think if you go over like the prospects, you could look at, let's say, each team. When you look at Tampa Bay, the three guys the Mets got were number 15, 26, and 27, right? That's how they ranked with Tampa. But when you move them to the Mets, now they're like 12, 15, and 16. Why is that? Well, because with all the call-ups the Mets had, they called up a lot of the young talent. The farm system dropped. So, of course, if you make a trade for, your farm system was not that good. So, guys, you go ahead and add, they are going to go ahead and move up. But it doesn't make it any different. If a guy was, if the guy was not a top 100 prospect when he was on Detroit or when he was on LA or whether he was on Tampa Bay or wherever team was, when he gets traded to his new team, he all of a sudden he may move up in the rankings for that team, but he's not all of a sudden going to be like, oh well, hey, you're a top 5 prospect in your team. Oh, that means you're a top 100 prospect. It's not like it works that way, So from that standpoint, I don't know. The Dodgers have a very fair unadvantage and very
Unfair.
They have an unfair advantage because they, when the Dodgers got sold to this conglomerate, big ass thing, they actually were like bankrupt. And a way to help them, I believe, was the MLB, which takes money from all the TV deals, then distributes it amongst everything, amongst the other teams, because the deal that they made, I guess, with the McCourts and when they were selling and so on and so forth, was that they were only going to take like 1/3 or 40%, whatever it was, of the revenue that is generated with the TV deal, and the Dodgers were going to get to keep the rest. So the Dodgers are going ahead and let's say the Major League said, hey, you know what? We're only going to take 1/3. You get to keep 2/3. Well, every other team throws all their money in this big bucket. The Dodgers go, oh, we signed $100 million deal. Here's our $33 million. We're going to keep the other $66 million. From that standpoint.
True.
If there was a salary cap, the problem with the whole salary cap issue is how that's going to affect like trading, right? Because like when you look at the NBA, because the NBA, and from that standpoint, because NBA, you don't see a lot of trades and stuff in football, but like in the NBA where you do, the money always has to work out.
Right.
But you're not going ahead and you're not dealing with minor league play. They're not going, hey, okay, we're going to send, LeBron James, let's just make believe. We're going to send LeBron James from the Lakers to Philadelphia. We're going to trade him. And, what we're going to do is we're going to give you 3 of our G League players. It doesn't work that way, right? If LeBron James is making, $15 million, they got to send close to $15 million back to LA. The money has to work out.
Right.
I think that's going to be the interesting part, with the MLB. It's like, hey, wait a minute. You're trading, let's take a guy like Scooble. Let's say, and I don't know what his contract is, but let's just say he's making $20 million and there's $8 million, I don't even think it matters what the pro rated stuff is, but it's $20 million. And they go to the Dodgers, hey, guess what? You can't trade those 3 minor leaguers because you got to send $20 million back.
Well, from what I read, his contract was the $32 million for the 1 year for this year, and the Dodgers had to eat $10 million of it.
Okay.
From what I read.
Yeah.
So,
which is nothing for them.
Made a free agent at the end of the year.
Right. But I'm just saying this whole thing. Now, there are a lot of people like people on X and everything. They were just beside themselves and everything. And this is why this, and they have an unfair advantage, so on and so forth. And it's like, not really. They do, because their entire ownership group is worth, like $1 trillion or something like that. It's a stupid ass number. But you have all these other teams that don't want to spend money.
Right.
You want competitive, but now, people go, well, that's, and a salary cap is only going to work if there's a floor, and the floor has to be high enough.
Right.
Floor can't be 100 million.
No, it's going to be a lot more than that.
The floor has to be 175, 180 million. You know what I'm saying? And the cap can't be 400 million. That number in between has to be somewhat significant, but not too significant.
Right. It'll be interesting to see what happens. We got hosed on our deal with Garcia, though. He picked up some pitchers, but nothing great. And he was one of our best players. Like, why are you getting rid of him? Plenty of other guys we could have gotten rid of.
Yeah.
But I know why we're selling, because we dropped 3 games to Atlanta. Now we're like 12 and a half out. The odds of us making the playoffs is probably slim to none. So let's just
take a step back to the salary cap thing. To use hockey as an example. Hockey. The NHL salary cap ceiling for this coming season, 26-27, is $104 million for the team. Okay. That's the ceiling. Alongside a salary floor of 70, well, we're going to call it $77 million.
So basically, you have your floor and you double it, and you have your ceiling, just about roughly.
No. $104 million is the ceiling.
So it's
$77 million is the floor. So you're only talking
$27 million,
$28 million difference.
So
between the top team and the bottom team.
I don't think they can use that in baseball. I would just.
No. But I let's face it, they do that because it has a lot to do with the revenue that is generated and so on and so forth. But what I'm saying is, if you look at that percentage of saying, hey, guess what? That's really the floor is like 75% of the ceiling. So if you're gonna do something like that, and you say, okay, guess what? Our ceiling is going to be 200 million. If you kind of use a percentage of saying the floor needs to be 75% of that, that means my floor is 150 million.
Right.
Now you see what happens. But I asked, what makes anybody think that if there was a floor and you're let's take a real life scenario. You're trying to make the playoffs, and I can't use Detroit. Let's go to the National League. You are the Pittsburgh Pirates. You are 3.5 games out of the final wild card. If there was a salary cap in place, what makes me believe or think that they are going to go ahead and get rid of their young players to bring a schoolboy onto that team?
I don't think they do. No.
You know, and then, or forget even that. If they think they are an ace away and he's the ace on the market, I mean, I get you could say, hey, we have to spend 150 million. You know, we might as well give that one guy 35 of it. Like that's what I feel is going to happen with the floor type. You're going to have guys, and I hate to say they don't deserve it, but in the normal realm of the game, you know, when you think of a player's salary, you're thinking of the not only the value of the player of the game, but you're just looking at that player of his value to the sport. You know what I'm saying? Like, from that standpoint. So all of a sudden now, are you taking a guy who, you know, middle infielder doesn't go ahead and do a hell of a whole lot, you know? I don't know who. Let's just say uh, you're Blaze Jordan now, and you're the third baseman for the St. Louis Cardinals. Well, hell, Blaze, you're really, you're hitting 240 with one home run with 22 RBIs, but we have to reach a floor. So we know you were getting 5 million a year. Now we're going to give you 12 because I got to get to the floor.
Right.
Now you have a guy like Blaze Gordon, 240 average, one home run, 22 RBIs, getting paid $12 million a year.
That's where it ends up screwing up. Guys that really don't deserve it.
You know. Now, could it do some good things? Sure, it could. But in my opinion, some of the things that people might think are going to be good are already happening. You know, like you look at what the baseball team from Georgia did in the past, signing Acuna when he was young, long term. Ozzie Albies, same thing, right? Austin Riley. You look at what Milwaukee has done with some of their guys, right? Jackson Cheerio, boom, wasn't even in the major leagues yet, but let's assign him to a 7 or 8 year deal. Luis Lara, another guy. Hey, you haven't been in the majors yet, but you know what? You're one of our top prospects. We're going to sign you for 7 years for $40 million.
Yeah.
Those could be friggin' bargains at some point.
I will be right back.
Yeah. But that's the part that, the whole salary cap thing with baseball, that gets me. Like I said, I really don't care one way or the other. You just got to figure out what that ceiling is one thing, but to me the floor is way way more important than the ceiling. Because I think teams will do what they got to do. If there's penalties and so on and so forth. Again, like I said, I don't. It really doesn't matter to me. I don't care. If you know, I guess I maybe it's because growing up in New York, in the 80s, in the 90s, and I know the Yankees had Posada, Williams, Jeter, and Mo Rivera as their core four that came up through the minor league system. But after that, they filled in with free agency, and George Steinbrenner didn't give a rat's ass about nothing but winning.
Right.
And I know it's different now. They've gone ahead and they put things in place to make it a little more painful for owners to have that kind of a mentality.
Right.
But you still can. You still can go ahead and have that mentality. You can still go ahead and and want to win and figure out a way to do it. It's a matter of, are you willing to go ahead and do it? Are you willing to go ahead and do what it takes to go ahead and win? And to me, I would really love to go ahead and see if the thought process is how much more competitive baseball is going to be with a salary cap.
Right. I don't think it will be, honestly.
I would challenge that because I don't see it.
Yeah. I think it's going to make it worse, honestly.
You know,
Like you said, these guys that technically don't deserve the money, they're going to get it.
yeah. I mean, you know, if you're the Miami Marlins, if you're Tampa, and you have a bunch of good young talent and stuff like that and everything, you're like, well, okay, hey, we'll pay these guys with so on and so forth, but we don't have to go that much higher, than the minimum. I mean, Tampa Bay, they're gonna go, are you kidding me? I mean, we've been spending less than what the floor is the last 10 years, and look where we are, right? First place team. We've been in the World Series and all this other kind of stuff. We've competed. We've gone for our, the American League East Division Championship. We've been there the whole time and stuff. All right, we'll just pay a bunch of these guys money, but there's no sense in us trying to go ahead and be towards the top of this, towards the ceiling.
Right. Just, I think this whole saga is going to be a bust in the long run if they do it.
I mean, two things would be, how do you grandfather in all these long-term contracts that are out there?
Yeah.
That's number one. Number two is, why would the players agree to it? Like, I just don't. I mean, obviously, I don't know when the players ratify the CBA. I don't know if it is a simple majority or if it's 75%. Whatever the number is, right?
Right.
But I just like, how many players are gonna be like, okay, hey, yeah, man, we're good. Let's go ahead and I agree with us going ahead and getting paid less money.
Yeah, I don't ever see that happening.
Like, I don't know how you backtrack it. And you can't use friggin' Ohtani because he has the money deferred. So I don't know how that part works.
But you look at Soto.
You look at Soto. You look at Trout.
Yeah.
Judge. You're gonna look at Scooble. What he's gonna sign for, right? Like, I don't know. I don't know how can you make Soto renegotiate his contract that he signed a number of years before the CBA ended?
Right.
Or if you're the Mets, you're saying, oh crap, there's $35 million or whatever the number is.
Yeah, because I think they say Scooble's going to ask for north of $400 million.
Yeah, which he ain't going to get.
No,
because he's already had 3 elbow issues, right?
I mean, yeah, he does have the 2 Cy Young, but I don't think that's going to give him the $400 million. I say 350, 360 maybe, but even that's.
Yeah, but how many years, John?
I don't know how old he is. So.
But all I'm saying, that's what I mean though. When you look, well, let's see. MLB, the Dodgers, depth chart. Tarek Skubal. He's 29. He will be. He's 29. He'll be 30 this year.
Okay, so say he's got 5 more years. You give him a lot of money for that 350.
That's what I'm saying. You're not gonna pay him $70 million a year for 350. 5 years, 350 is $70 million a year.
Yeah.
So it might. That's what I'm saying. Don't worry about the final total. What do you? What could he? What he could potentially get from a yearly perspective if he says I'm not going to sign for anything less than 30. So you're still talking about a team that's going to say, okay, 5 years, 150. I only preach you 35, but I'm okay. I'll give you 2 more years to get you to 37. So 7, so I'll give okay. Now I'm at 210. 210 million for 7 years. That's 30 million a year. Hey,
Plus
wait a minute. Hold on.
Any bonuses you get, like if you make Cy Young, we'll throw you some money. MVP, we throw you some. You know what I mean? They always throw all that in there too.
Yeah, you almost have to do that to sweeten the pot.
Yeah. Because I was just looking up our number one guy, Eli Wilkes, $8.2 million. That's what they signed him. It's only a 1-year deal. Well, they call it signing bonus. What they called it.
No, that's he gets that money. That doesn't include. That's not his salary.
$8.2 million.
Yeah, he got $8.2 million to sign.
I would love to be able to get that just to sign a piece of paper.
Michael Chavis, when he signed with the Red Sox as whatever number pick he was, I think he got like 1.8 million. That's the signing bonus on top of what the salary is.
Ridiculous. Anyway.
Let's see. Eli Willett's contract. So he got a signing bonus, and it was under slot, saving roughly 2.8 million. So he actually wound up taking less money, and that's what happens to you guys. Now, it says a 1 year. That's just a signing bonus. They don't have. Oh, you have to pay for a premium thing to see what his. Let me see. Is there anything here? He got 8.2 million, then one pick. Willis and is the largest ever given to a high school player. Because Jackson Holiday got 8.19 as the number one pick. They don't say what the yearly salary is. That is just what he gets. That's what his bonus was. So they still have to. Then they still wind up paying him salary on top of that. Just for getting picked, they write him a check, $8 million. I mean, in reality, let's face it. The truth is if you if you give all that money to the right people, you're good for the rest of your life. When you figure the money you're gonna make playing baseball.
Be nice.
Be really nice. I yell at my son every day. I can't believe you stopped playing. I always tell him, the one thing I will always be mad about you is you went ahead and denied me the opportunity to cry on the MLB network on TV. I go, because if we would have been there, we would have been there, you would have been drafted, and when I called your name, I would have been crying, and everybody would have saw it on TV, but no, you took that away from me. He's like, yeah, whatever, Dad.
The money you could have been having, and now you're stuck doing what you're doing.
Right. You doofus.
Anyway. 11:05.
11:05. Yep.
Hour and 15 minutes. Not a bad show.
This is the show for the week, unless maybe we hop on towards the end of the week for a little bit. Who knows?
Just let me know. I'm good with it.
Pardon me?
I'm good with it. If you want to, just let me know.
Thank you, sir. So we will see what happens with everybody. Everybody enjoy your week. Again, overall, I think it was a
Overall, like that, I give it a B- weekend for WWE.
as I said, I think it was a good weekend, not a great weekend.
Yeah.
They I think they put some matches on that was like, why? And I think, but I think we're going to continue to get that.
Exactly.
And we're going to continue to get the whys. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, it was, like I said, it was a good show. It was nowhere near an A-level show. And I'll be honest with you, I can't remember of all the times that we've been talking about this for however long it's been. I mean, I don't think we've talked about an A-level show from top to bottom. We've had A-level matches. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the main event tonight, that's an A-level match.
Oh, yeah.
But then you have
The
Danhausen Dominic, which gets like a D, and it brings that A down, to a C+.
Yeah.
That's the problem that they have.
They cannot throw a show that does an A+ across the board, or even just a straight A across the board.
Yeah,
they don't have to do that anymore.
Yeah, I don't think they could. I don't know what they could go ahead and do. So, but hey, as always, thanks a lot for hanging out with us, everybody. Appreciate it, Chuck. Thank you very much. I know Maddie was here. I know John, George,
Maddie, John.
Appreciate you guys.
And Dom, if you were listening.
Dom, if you're in the background. All right, buddy. We will catch you at the